Can someone explain why Vietnam War makes them vote Trump? I got you. But this is going to be a long history lesson, so make sure you keep up. Vietnam War is way more complicated than it seems. There is a lot that goes into this, and I have to start with the French because it would only make sense starting with them. It all started when France colonized Vietnam in 1857, and it continued all the way until 1887, when it established the Indo-Chinese Union. And the Indo-Chinese Union was basically France's colonial territory over Southeast Asia. That includes Cambodia and Laos. Okay, yeah, but what was the reason? Why did France colonize Vietnam? France's colonial invasion over Vietnam was encouraged because of Vietnam's natural resources that they had. Adding to that, Vietnam's country was a strategic location for the French. The French also colonized them for profit and economic exploitation, as well as to spread French culture and civilization, which is why the Vietnamese language is very similar to French, which brings me to my next point. During France's invasion, which started from northern Vietnam, by the way, they destroyed everything that was Vietnamese. Their culture, their language, their history, their statues, their monuments, all of it. Every single last bit of it gone. The French called this mission civilisatric, which is similar in English to white man's burden. Overall, France has colonized Vietnam for over 60 years. And let me tell you, you can do a lot of irreversible damage in 60 years if you can do it right. France officially lost control of Vietnam in the Battle of Dien Bien in 1954. There is a lot of reasons why France lost that battle, but mostly it's because of lack of resources, military, and political issues. Another thing is, during France's colonization and the wars between Vietnam and France, America were the ones that was supplying financial aid and military resources to the French. America was indirectly involved when it comes to keeping Vietnam under French colonization, and they was aiding support to the French on numerous occasions. In general, this is that point when I don't understand Vietnamese people glorification over America, especially over white people. Literally a year later, after the French lost control, the Vietnam War between the North and the South began. Now, North and South Vietnam already had some conflict.
So guys, when I actually saw this video, I knew that this video is actually going to be interesting, right? Because a lot of persons have been asking questions like, oh, why do these Vietnamese Americans, why did they actually voted for Trump? And the reason why a lot of people are actually asking is because recently they are now crying out that a lot of them are having issues in one way or the other. Anyways, we'll get right into all of those videos, right? And some of them are actually coming out to like, come on, to blame themselves and be like, I never optioned for this, you actually optioned for this. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sonia and I'm back here with another mind-blowing video. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are fine. Hope you guys are good. If it's the first time tuning in, do subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. Thank you so much so much for always supporting me, and I do not take you guys for granted. So I'll allow you guys enjoy this video and I'll be back with commentaries. But if you're watching, please do also drop your comments for us in the comment section. Let's know what your take is on this, because every videos we bring here is for us to educate one another. So every videos and clips you're going to see us teach here, credit belongs to the original creators of this video. And yes, let's just go right and enjoy this video.
After the French departed. However, it intensified during the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union, which means the Vietnam War only happened because of America and Russia's involvement. Now stay with me, because this is where America and China fucked up. In 1954, there were plans and promises to set democratic elections to reunite the country in 1956. America's involvement was never fucking necessary. Vietnam continued to get worse during and after America's involvement, leading Vietnam into ruins even more. The promise wasn't to only reunite Vietnam. They had plans for North Vietnam to be communist and the South Vietnam to be non-communist. Because America doesn't know how to mind their own fucking business, the entire country ended up communist anyway. During America's involvement, they didn't just go to Vietnam to fight communistic soldiers. No, they did way more horrifying stuff in that country. They raped, slaughtered, pillaged, bombed, and destroyed all of their infrastructure, their agriculture, and everything you can possibly think of. There was also a genocide called the My Lai Massacre, where a group of American soldiers goes around killing hundreds of Vietnamese citizens, killing over 180,000 unarmed civilians. They did all of that, came up with 3 slurs for Vietnamese people, got their ass kicked, left in Vietnam in 1973 just for them to end up not changing anything in the country. America and South Vietnam wasn't only fighting North Vietnam, they were also fighting China. China offered military training, arms, and supplies to North Vietnam. China also fought against South Vietnam and the United States alongside of North Vietnam. After America's departure in 1973, China took over the Perisal and Spratly Islands in 1974. A little while after that, North Vietnam won against South Vietnam and became a unified country under communism in 1975. We understood at this point in history why Vietnamese people wouldn't like Chinese people. However, However, it gets worse. In 1979, China had an emprise invasion against North Vietnam. China's invasion was a response to Vietnam's invasion to Cambodia. Like, holy fucking shit. During Chinese rule, Vietnamese people was forced to learn Chinese, dress Chinese, and learn Chinese rituals. While all of this was happening, the United States had a political party switch. Democratic leaders, who was indirectly involved with all of Vietnam's enemies, who got involved into the war, who sent soldiers just to kill hundreds of thousands of people, and abandoned South Vietnam, are now Republican leaders of the United States. And most of them are still in power to this day. Vietnamese Americans that fled from a communistic country by the skin of their teeth ended up voting for the same people. If that isn't one of the biggest fucking plot twists I have ever heard, I don't know what is. I understand why Vietnamese people hate China. I understand. But what I don't understand is why they don't hold the same energy for America and France. I have heard many stories from Vietnamese people in person how they were jumping on boats and sailing to the America getting shot at by communistic soldiers. How many of them died trying to escape. And I can't help but to think that shit wouldn't have happened if America wasn't involved. This is why I do not understand why Vietnamese people voted for Republicans. Because historically speaking, it does not make any fucking sense at all.
Like, this guy has a lot of history to talk about. It looks like this guy is dropping the chill bone truths of these particular people in America. But anyways, I'm enjoying it, and I hope you're also enjoying it. Let's go ahead and roll out other clips for you guys, because a lot of people will be like, why is she showing her face? We want to start seeing the video. I still need to show my face. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And let's continue.
It really be your own people, and that is the hardest truth that I had to swallow this year. Vietnamese Americans are the only Asian ethnic group that is majority Republican. And I'm not talking pre-2016 Republican, I'm talking raging Trump supporter Republican. I just had to unfollow this Vietnamese influencer. She's literally not a US citizen. She came to the US like 10 years ago, but she posted a screenshot of her and her family member from and in Vietnam wearing MAGA hats and celebrating over Trump's victory. They are both Vietnamese citizens, not US citizens. So I don't know what's going through their minds here. When I lived in LA, I would go to OC a lot for Viet food, and I saw several Vietnamese for Trump rallies. I will never forget the China virus rally that I saw in 2020. That's obviously a reason why a lot of Viet people are pro-Trump. Trump is very anti-China, and so are Vietnamese Americans. They're anti-China for obvious historical reasons, and also the fact that they're anti-communist.
Everyone, let's talk about why so many Vietnamese immigrants defend the wrong side of America, even though this current political party is clearly in the wrong. It's not just politics, it's trauma, conditioning, and survival mentality. Most of our parents and grandparents came here as refugees. They survived war, communism, dictatorships. In those systems, speaking up could get you locked up or killed. So when they got to America, they were taught and they learned to stay quiet, to be thankful, and do not ask for more. A lot of that American core and I only love America in my heart rhetoric, that's not real patriotism. It's fear. Fear that if they criticize the US government, they'll lose the little safety that they have. They're afraid that pushing back might lead to instability, just like where they ran from. This country constantly tells immigrants to be thankful and grateful for what you have or go back to where you came from. So now, many immigrants have to prove their gratitude by staying silent, even when injustice is happening right in front of their eyes. Gratitude becomes a weapon to keep people quiet. They were taught that freedom means you get to live here, but real freedom means you can speak, protest, organize, and criticize for what is right.
Why Chinese Americans support Trump? All right. So the reason is the Democratic administration, Biden administration, lead this country towards socialism and eventually towards communist dictatorship. We came from China. We know this is the way. This is not like people here don't understand what is a communist is. We know communist is, what communist is. That's why we support.
Means to some of their videos that I've seen is because of they are minority or majority. What did they call it again? I was just joking. What are they trying to like put out here is they actually voted for Trump because of how they have seen the situation of things. But the last time I checked, everybody have the right to vote, right? Because you see all these Chinese also coming up to say that, oh, this is how we actually voted, not because we don't know what to do, but because this is how the system is already being programmed. How is the system already being programmed, please? Did Trump actually come to your doorstep to force you, to tell you that, oh, you must vote for me. If you don't vote for me, I'm going to move you out. Now that the system is like this, now what do you have to say? Because despite the fact that you voted because you think that he's going to come to your own rescue, now he's not coming to your own rescue. Now you are always crying on the internet. Now a lot of undocumented immigrants that is related to still you people are being thrown out, are being moved, are being deported to their various destination of God knows when. So it baffles me. If you say you don't have a right to vote or you're voting because of this, now that thing you're voting for, how is it helping you now? That's the question. And I hope a lot of person can actually learn from this so that in the next election that is coming, you should be able to know the right thing to do. Let's go ahead and roll out the remaining clips and I'll be back with commentaries.
Video yesterday because context is key here. And I was responding to a comment that people weren't clicking on and reading. The comment was asking, how could any minority group vote for Trump? And I have some theories as to how Asians, my community, voted for Trump. Not en masse, not as a majority, certainly not, but some Asians did. And I know that a lot of it has to do with assimilation and proximity to power. I know a lot of it has to do with being a model minority and like separating ourselves from Black and Latino people rather than working together. Growing up in the 80s, we're told that we were the model minority. And that came from a Time magazine cover article that we saw everywhere. It literally said model minorities and pictures of Asian kids. Okay. So that was sort of what we grew up with. Now, my family, Jesus loving Democrats, did not impose that idea on us that we were better than other races. Certainly not. We never have voted Republican either. My family has always voted for Democrats. But some Asians do see us as being better than Black people and Latino people. Not all Asians. Some Asians believe that and believe that we are close enough to make up for any differentials in society, and we don't want to be different. Number two is we are susceptible to like culty leaders. If you notice, a lot of cult leaders are actually Asian men. And three, we are down with the patriarchy. So we grew up in a lot of patriarchal societies. And since Trump and Republicanism really represent the patriarchy, I can see how that's a draw. So there's these factors, like assimilation, the model minority, needing a strong culture, like strong culty type leader, like that all makes sense to me. And so I don't think we're immune to those factors. Like, I think that for the majority of us, yes, we voted for Kamala, of course. But a few of us see the proximity to as being the only thing that matters. So you say, oh, you're voting against your interests. Well, think about what those interests really are.
Why are so many Asian Americans so silent right now? That's because they didn't vote. Yes, they didn't vote because they didn't like Kamala from their internal misogyny or internal racism and felt indifferent enough about the orange man so that they thought that a no vote was going to the orange man. So the reason why they're not upset right now is because they voted for this. That's why. And that's not me excusing their behavior. I am a disabled person. I was advocating for Kamala before the election, so I had the chance to talk to a lot of my friends. They're not my friends anymore, but people in my life about how this election was going to affect me and people like me. And if they cared about me, why they should vote for Kamala. And they still didn't care. They couldn't care less because at the end of the day, it was all about taxes. Yeah, their tax break. The problem is Asians that have a level of wealth feel this closeness to white people because white people were the only ones that had that level of wealth for so long that they feel like they're getting a chance to be part of the white club, but they're not. And if I could give an insight into maybe why Asians are like this, it's because a lot of our parents and like even my generation as a millennial, we have seen our mother countries very impoverished. Like for me, I'm Korean, so I know South Korea's history. Like South Korea was fully bankrupt in the 80s and saw their first economic boom in the 2000s. It hasn't been that long, and they're in like the top 20 GDP in the world now. That level of wealth growth, normal citizens see that and think, oh my God, if I'm just smart enough and if I invest correctly, I can also get there. And if you look at South Korea, it's an oligarchy. That country is ran by like 3 families, and the main one is the Samsung family. And they have so many scandals. They have done some bad stuff, and the country just lets them get away with it. And if you look at the election turnout, it shows that South Koreans are starting to wake up to the state of like, oh, we're an oligarchy. But Korean Americans, look at the past of Korea, see that you can still succeed, feel like there's a privilege of being in America, utilize the model minority method, and then try to enter the 1%. They think that they could break into the 1%. Wake up. You're not. You're not white enough. You will never be white enough. They will never accept.
The video, the guy actually, in one of the video I played for you guys, the guy actually stated that it is trauma, condition, and mentality. I think that's the right word that he actually used. And I don't know. I don't know the situation of things. Let me not just say so much so that I don't look like maybe I'm judging them. I don't judge anybody, right? I keep saying it in my videos that no matter who you voted for, you do not have that right to suffer whatsoever you are suffering. But the question is, that same trauma condition that you think that is actually the reason why you're voting, is it not still what is happening now? Now, are you not even more traumatized? Now, are you not even more conditioned? Now, can you even go to work freely as you usually do before? Now, things that you can spend with just $100, $300, $200, how is it now? How is the gas now? So people should learn not to vote based on condition. That's what I've taught myself. I don't vote for you I vote based on what I'm seeing and based on the result I want to achieve. If you vote based on condition or you vote based on one situation or the other, at the end of the day, you're going to suffer for it. Some of the videos that were even trending on my FYP page, you see people say ask questions like, oh, why is the Asian community this quiet? And I think I played one of the clips for you guys as well to also hear why the lady said they are quiet. Is it not hitting? It's hitting on every single person. You understand? If you are trying to do something next time, you see, vote because you are seeing the future, even not your own future, the future of your children. You get? And it is bad that after your condition, after your trauma voting, after because you just needed to vote because you think that it's going to help you, now is not helping. Now is even making life more, should I say miserable than every other thing? Putting out tariffs here and here that is not even favoring you. See floods everywhere, see climate weather changes. The last time we just saw another bubonic plague, or is it bubonic plague? Sorry if I'm not pronouncing very. So a lot is just happening that I just pray a lot of people will be able to learn on time. A lot of people will be able to adjust themselves on time. And a lot of people should always learn to see the future and not just see the present. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that most of this history that this guy actually put out and every other opinion you've heard, do you think that their opinion is good enough? Let me know in the comment section. And I just want to use this medium to say thank you so much to every one of you that is supporting me. You guys are amazing. I do not take you guys for granted, not even for one day. And every video is on stitches you see in our videos. Credit always belongs to the original creator. Most of the videos we bring here is for educational purpose only. So please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I usually do take correction. Someone actually corrected me one of my video that I posted. It was like, go and make your hair. And here am I made my hair. So that is it. We learn every day. And I didn't even tell the person to give me money, but the person didn't even know if I had money or not. But I still made my head right. So correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. If there's anything you feel like I should add, or any other kind of videos that you want to be seeing on this channel, please let me know in the comment section and we'll do that. Anyways, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And yes, with no further ado, I do locally say in my videos. I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you. Mwah.